But first, it's been a mammoth fortnight in federal parliament, and what with the shocking workplace report on culture within the House, name-calling in both houses, and further allegations today of abuse by a federal minister, allegedly, and a vile sledge by a Green senator, the year has ended, I think, in a shambles. Australians go to Christmas now with some quite woeful memories of their leaders in action. The parting session of 2021 has not been their finest moment. But as I pointed to earlier this week on the show, the ugly behaviour is not restricted by gender. It's not restricted along party lines either. This was Green Senator Lidia Thorpe at the start of the week.
To this lot, black lives don't matter in the Beetaloo. It's shameful, shame. Black lives don't matter in the Beetaloo, do
Senator
they?
Thorpe,
Black
Senator
lives
Thorpe,
don't matter in the Beetaloo,
Senator
do
Thorpe,
they?
resume your seat and remove yourself from the chamber. You're wearing a slogan.
As I mentioned at the time, the Victorian senator was attempting to link gas drilling in the Northern Territory to the threat to Indigenous lives. Quite a long bow. But late yesterday, Lidia's predilection for anger and extreme behaviour reached a whole new level. During a discussion in the Senate about National Disability Day, Senator Thorpe crashed the exchange by yelling about the importance of 2 black women dying in custody.
Point of order.
Senator Thorpe, what is the point of order on?
In the last 8 hours, we've had
Senator
2
Thorpe,
Aboriginal women
there is
die
no point
in
of order.
custody.
Senator Thorpe, resume your seat. There is no point of order. There is no point of order. Senator Thorpe. Senator Thorpe. Senator Thorpe. Senator Thorpe. Senator Thorpe.
Why she wasn't marched out, again then, I've got no idea. These are MPs, these are members of parliament representing constituents, and surely they are required to have a little bit more decorum. Anyway, in a further unrecorded exchange, New South Wales Liberal Senator Hollie Hughes, who has an autistic boy, castigated Thorpe for interrupting that important discussion on disability. Thorpe then produced the year's most atrocious slapdown.
And at that point she said, at least I kept my legs shut. There's no doubt about the truth to these comments, and they were heard by a number of senators in the Labor Party and the crossbench who have all come up to me and spoken to me about it and were horrified.
I'll speak with Hollie Hughes shortly, but at a time when you'd expect all sides of parliament to support those who have good reason to feel aggrieved by that form of abuse, Labor's Tanya Plibersek decided to question what was said.
Well, look, if it's true, I'm shocked.
If it's true. Well, those close to the exchange, like Liberal Senator Ben Small, heard it all right, and he was not impressed.
Senator Thorpe just made the most outrageous statement directed at Senator Hughes, which you probably didn't hear, but in the scheme of disgusting statements made in this chamber, that surely ranks at the top of them.
So, as the heat started to rise in the Senate, Lidia Thorpe made an attempt to apologise.
I just want to unreservedly take back my comments that I made earlier, and I apologise to that senator wholeheartedly, Senator Hughes, and that won't happen again. So I apologise to the senator and also the Senate.
In just 2 days, we've had several examples of foul behaviour on the floor of both houses of parliament. It's almost as if certain MPs were out to show Australia how true to form they are to the ugly allegations made in Kate Jenkins' workplace culture report. Whereas we may have expected MPs to use the final 2 days of the parliamentary year to show some contrition maybe and respect for the process of reform that needs to begin right away. But no, wishful thinking. The sooner they close the lid on 2021 in that place on the hill, the better we'll all be. New South Wales Liberal Senator Hollie Hughes joins me now. Hollie, when I first heard last night about what was said by Lidia Thorpe, I thought it may have been simply an outrageous, but simply a slut-shaming sledge by her. But the context of this is really important to clarify for viewers, isn't it?
Look, and it is the context in which it was said. And when it occurred, a number of senators came over to me and spoke to me. I did sort of take a bit of a personal check and say, well, am I misreading this? Am I reading too much into it? And every single one of the colleagues I spoke to said, Hollie, you are not. That is exactly the first thought I had. So this was not something that I took as an inference, but no one else saw. Every single one of my colleagues, and I'm talking from across parties, cross bench, took the inference in exactly the same way. And I've seen some people in, we know the wonderful land of Twitter, are trying to defend Lidia, saying, how would she even know she had an autistic son? I'm incredibly vocal on this issue.
Yes.
I have been vocal on this issue before coming to the place.
Both in and
my
out
son
of the
and I
House.
have done a lot of promotional stuff. I chair the autism inquiry.
Yeah.
Senator Thorpe has been in the chamber. In fact, I think it was last week, when I made a speech on autism, what next, a fabulous new resource we've just set up. I speak about this issue very, very often, and I regularly invoke my family's experience with it, because I do know how we can do autism better in this country and how autism families do struggle to get support and resources that they require. So there is absolutely no way anyone in this chamber, in this entire parliament, and probably anyone who pays any attention to politics at all, would not know that they would absolutely know I had a child with autism.
I've met your boy who has autism.
My beautiful Fredo.
Yeah, I've seen how gorgeous he is. I've seen how difficult it can be. And in particular, someone who is a single mum like yourself and a full-time politician, I don't know how you do it. When that was said, how much did that hurt?
So, Chris, I don't cry very often, I got to say. I'm not one of those people that's easily offended. I'm, pretty tough when it comes to it most of the time. By the time I got to the Senate lobby, which is sort of our room adjacent to the Senate chamber, I was in tears. Because you can say whatever you like about me, but you attack my beautiful boy. Okay, everyone knows my Achilles heel now, but you attack my beautiful boy. It hurts and it cuts. And apart from the offensiveness of it and the inappropriate behaviour within the Senate chamber, for anyone to suggest that somehow children with special needs, that children with a disability, that if you kept your legs shut, they wouldn't have been born. Yeah. It is so offensive. And it's not only offensive to me, it is offensive to every autism family in Australia.
Yeah, without doubt. Look, Lidia Thorpe, given what I've seen this week, not just with your incident, given what I've seen, I think she is grossly unhinged. But what did we see today? Nothing from the leadership of the Greens. They all ran for cover and ran under the table. And I don't know how Lidia Thorpe, given her ravings and her outrageous suggestion to you, I don't know how she still got a job.
Well, I can confirm, and I've actually had journalists message me through the day saying, I spoke to Laura Jays this morning, since you've spoken to Laura Jays, where I'd confirmed I had not heard from one Greens senator or their leader, Adam Bant, a number of journos have messaged me during the day to just say, have you heard anything? Not a word. And I have been in and out of the chamber whilst they have been there. I made a speech today that highlighted their lack of a willingness to apologise. I pointed out the words were, "Hi, Senator, I apologise for my colleague's conduct." That's all that's required. Not one of them had the gall to come up to me. Not one of them had the gall to look at me. And then what I also spoke about today with Tanya Plibersek's comments about is it true, not one of the ALP women that was in the chamber at the time would lift their eyes to look at me. This is how desperate the ALP are to go into a coalition with the Greens, that the week the Jenkins report is released, they allow this abuse of a female Conservative senator to go completely unchecked. And, you know, can you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot?
You'd be nailed to the cross.
If I had said that to Senator Thorpe, aside from the fact, and I did a radio interview this morning where the point was made, my feet wouldn't have touched the floor as I was out of the chamber, but I would have been an independent by last night.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no way I would still be a member of the Liberal Party if I had made that comment, and the national broadcaster would be calling for my lynching.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to leave it there, Hollie.
And you know what? Not a word.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's the silence is as disgraceful as the words that were said. I'll leave you to go and see your little boy tomorrow.
Just finally, I know, just finally, one of the things that I just want to say that we should consider in this, it's not only what Lidia Thorpe said, it is important we look at how people react. And I think Tanya Plibersek and some other people have demonstrated that today in a very stark way.
Senator Hollie Hughes, thank you for your time.